All right, welcome in Scorpios to your March reading. This is a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Scorpios out there. So we're going to tap in to see what is happening for you all in the month of March. You know, tarot, just to clarify, because I'm feeling that I need to clarify. So tarot, you know, a lot of people just think, oh, tarot is, you know, like a psychic reading. Tarot, from my perspective, is really a tool to connect to your current now energies and kind of provide you and like information and guidance to support you in this now moment, support you in what you're trying, where you're trying to go, what you're trying to do. I always say like it supports you in your highest good. I'm just giving you some awareness. It gives you a perspective from the divine or your higher self that you may not, maybe you do have some perspective on or have some awareness, maybe you don't, but it's helping you to really hone in on where you should be focusing your attention, where giving you some maybe, you know, I don't like to say it's like it's negative, but there can be some, you know, caution of, hey, based on your energy right now, this is kind of what potentially could unfold. So it is looking at potentialities, which you could say, but again, you have the full control and ability to change in every single moment. So you can always change the potentialities. You can change your path. Like, for example, maybe it'll, you know, maybe I'm picking up on potential health issues based on your current energies. But you could, you know, it's the cards or the divine can give you some guidance on, well, if you don't want that result, if you don't want, you know, potential health issues, what can you do, right? So it's really a support tool. It's like being able to connect to your higher self to get some guidance. So, all right, Scorpios, let's see what's going on in March 2025. So we're going to start eclipse season. We have winter ending in the Northern Hemisphere. We have spring starting. In the Southern Hemisphere, we have winter beginning at the end of the month. We have Pisces season, and then moving into Aries. So we have a lot of Piscean energy through the first half of the month. The beginning of the month, we have a Pisces stellium, and there's actually going to be 5 planets in Pisces, and that is happening as we speak, as I'm recording this. So there is a lot I'm seeing as far as, you know, you're on the tail end of the readings. And a lot, I guess, the trends to call out for you, a lot about right emotions. It's coming up. Really diving into, there's a lot about diving into the depths of the unconscious, diving into the depths of your feelings. And for some of, you know, some people, some signs, that's going to be difficult, right? When they're not used to, I almost say they're just not as comfortable in the emotional space or in the unconscious. Water signs, though, like you, Scorpio, are very familiar. That is where you feel at home. That is where you feel the most comfortable. So this is your time. This is your really time where you're going to feel it's like you know how to surf the waves, okay? Because water is the representation of the emotional body, and that's why in tarot the cups are obviously represented of the water signs and represent emotions. So you, Cancer and Pisces, are the surfers of the zodiac signs. Just thought of that. I love that analogy. So you know how to surf. So right now, everyone is being thrown into the waves, and you're like, hey, like, this is, you know, this is what I love to do, and I know how to surf. Where other people are struggling, you're going to be able to navigate this just fine, I think. It's going to get intense. They're going to be bigger than usual, but I know you got this, Scorpio. So let's start here. Let's take a look. Just as a reminder, you know, again, some people really want more, you know, these readings are great. It gives you a general, you know, ongoing perspective for yourself. But if you want to really hone in on a certain situation on your life, or, you know, get specific guidance and information for you independently, I do personal readings. So you can go to my website, which is below in the description, and schedule something there. All right, so we have Truth, the Cherokee Talking Stick Tradition. That's a 42 card. Focus, 15, the Shaolin Temple in China. And Breakthrough, the Moon Landing. So March is a major breakthrough month for you. I do feel like you've, Scorpios, have been trying to almost break through a brick wall, it seems. Like you've been trying to move forward or accomplish something, or, you know, there's been a challenge or situation that you're just like, when am I going to overcome this or get on the other side of it? I do feel like and maybe it's been a very confusing place. And I do feel like this Truth card, you know, the swords have been coming out a lot too. So we have the emotions, but then we have the swords, which is the mental scape, the mind. I do feel like a lot of clarity is coming, because that Piscean energy can be very deceptive, right? That moon energy, the moon card is Pisces. So especially at night, you have the moon out. Like, are you really seeing what you're seeing, right? There can be some deception there in the moon, in the nighttime but that moonlight is supposed to help you navigate the depths, right? The darkness. So I do feel like there's going to be some clarity coming. Maybe there's, you know, a situation of speaking your truth or coming to the truth to a situation. And I think that what I just picked up on too is in this focus card, there's two people here. And I do feel like potentially, you know, you've been trying to navigate, you know, that almost, it's very reminiscent of two people doing some martial arts here. It's like you've been learning some skills through some sort of challenging conflict with each other, or you've learned something through this situation. And I almost picking up on this could be with another person specifically, or just a situation in your life that you feel like it's been a challenge that you've been trying to navigate, and you just, you know, have been learning. Maybe it's kind of that concept of being an apprentice. And maybe this situation is actually almost elevating you to a master in regards to something in your life. And I think all of a sudden there's a major breakthrough where it just, you get it, and your skills are, you know, and your body really almost becomes habitual, where you finally learn a talent here, or martial arts. I'm using that as a metaphor. Hopefully that's not confusing. So, and I'm going to pull this because I see it. There's the abundance card. So it's like breakthrough, and then there's this, like, the abundance comes in, and here's the number 1 card too. So it's like all of a sudden you're starting a new path, one that's easier. You've learned the lessons, and you've kind of finally found your truth and clarity around this. And now here comes abundance. Woo! Flying cards. All right, we have the Knight of Swords that flew out. I'm going to take that as like an overarching energy. So this is a very fast energy as well. And similar to the focus card here, like this is kind of like the soldier or the knight rushing into battle, right? He's ready. He's been prepared mentally, physically, and he's ready to just charge in, because he's he's motivated by truth, and he's motivated to take action now. That's a very action-oriented card. All right, underneath we have the Three of Cups, the High Priestess, the Five of Cups, the Moon. We talked about the Moon there. And then we have the Ten of Cups. So there's some sort of breakthrough. I feel like, too, just some enlightenment around. I feel like this could be a karmic lesson in your life, or it's been a challenge of, like, the Three of Cups to me is about connection. What are those types of connections in your life that can refer to family or friendships, or just, again, what sort of people? How do these connections make you feel? Okay. And there's some with the High Priestess, this is about kind of an enlightenment about this, an enlightenment about the connections you've had, why you've had them. We talked about the truth coming through, some enlightenment, some understanding, because this has brought you a lot of, I feel, sadness, potentially depression, and just feeling like disconnected, like a lack of connection. A lot of depression really stems from disconnection from the self, feeling disconnected from people and relationships that are loving and supportive and nurturing, and really feeling out in the cold, right? This coldness of a lack of love and connection. And this has really, you've been carrying this really unconsciously in the depths. So this is a really deep reading here. This is a very high level here. We're really talking about you uncovering some really deep stuff that has been lingering in the unconscious for you. This is past wounding. This is past really an area that's left a big hole in your soul, in your heart. But I do feel like there's a new breakthrough coming through. And the breakthrough is really, this is Ten of Cups now. So we go from a lack of connection or a lack of social, like a tribe, like a soul tribe here, to now feeling this abundance of connection, of emotional nurturing, of love. This is what I'm really picking up on as far as what the Ten of Cups means for you. And as Scorpios, right, you guys like to go deep. I'm a fellow Scorpion as well. I'm a Sun Scorpio, so I totally get it. I actually have my birth chart, I have a Scorpio stellium, so I'm just like all water, mostly. So I get it, because Scorpios like that depth. They're really about emotional connection and depth with people. And when we don't have that, it really feels, it really sucks us dry, right? We really struggle with that. So I'm really liking March here already. So we have the Knight of Cups. So we go from the Knight of Swords, and that too can kind of feel isolating. You are this, you always feel like maybe you're alone as far as the battle of life, right? Like in life, you've maybe felt, that's been maybe again, a karmic kind of baggage you've carried, is always feeling like isolated, alone, like you don't have a tribe or an army behind you that's helping you fight the battles of life. But now we have this Knight of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, and the Seven of Wands. I feel this like guidance for you for this month is really standing up for who you are and what you want. It's like standing your ground. It has felt like an uphill battle for you in that sense of always feeling like you have to like fight for your needs and your desires and who you are, and maybe felt misunderstood, or that people in your life have always said you're you know, something could be for some of you of like, you're too needy or you're too this. And it's like, you've always taken that in as, well, maybe there is something wrong with me. Maybe I'm the problem. But in reality, maybe everyone else is the problem, which is not always the case, but sometimes it is, because maybe it's you needing to really realize that your needs and desires are worthy and they're legitimate, and that you are worthy of receiving that from people. And it's almost like that, you know, you're in a place, you kind of feel like you're in two different worlds right now. You feel like you've been stuck in this, these patterns and this energy, the situation all your life. But what's interesting here is in these two cards, she's kind of looking forward, and what she doesn't see is behind her is this Knight of Cups. And he's like behind her, like he has her back. So if you don't feel like you have, either you have someone in your life that you're really not noticing that that's what they're doing, or there's someone coming in that is going to, you may not notice them at first, or may not, this may not have happened yet, but I do feel like they're here to climb the mountain with you, instead of you feeling like you're climbing a mountain by yourself. So we have the Nine of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles. Look at that right in the middle of the spread. I love that. Eight of Cups. So in the heart of this whole reading is this, you're on the precipice of this new beginning here. There's a new door opening up, a new path that's going to be different. So the path ahead is going to be different. I don't know when that shift's going to happen for you and it's going to manifest, but there is this sense of like finally elevating and being able to leave behind the emotions from the past, leaving behind the baggage of unfulfilled cups, unfulfilled relationships, you know, heartache, things that didn't work out that I feel like have kind of piled up for you from an energetic standpoint, and really being able to walk away from that in a way that you feel good about it. You feel confident, you feel good, you're ready. You're ready to kind of purify yourself of the disappointments from the past, the heartache, you know, they're really trying to hold on to a sense of connection to things and people from the past that, you know, they were draining you more than they were filling you up. But even if they're, you know, from the past and they ended, I think you're still carrying that with you. Like it's almost still a connection for you, even though it's over, even though it was hurtful or toxic, it still was a connection for you. And I feel like Scorpios, again, because we are so, you know, deep, and we're so about the unconsciousness, and like we tend to hold on to things longer than, you know, we need to. And love is love and connection is connection. And I think that there's a positive and negative to that, but looking to the positive, I think that's a good trait of Scorpio, is like we understand the dark as much as we understand the light. So we are really masters of that duality. And even though things can be dark, we still hold on that there was something good in it. And sometimes, you know, you may be holding on to somebody or always trying to see the good in somebody, when in reality, like, it's okay to know that maybe it isn't meant to be, or it's not in our best good, but we can still cherish the lesson we learned and the good times and things like that. But there's something about needing to leave those behind. Because we have a power here. There's a power in yourself that I think has if it hasn't awoken yet, to me this is already awoken in you, and you're really, It's expanding in you this ability to see your confidence and your ability that you can manifest a new reality that's going to be abundant and stable and just way more positive for you. And it's like life is really, you're standing at the doorway of this new life. And it's like all you have to do is walk through it. But part of walking through that is that portal almost. You can see it as a portal. Is part of that is agreeing that, okay, this portal is going to purify you, but you have to leave behind the past. And are you ready? I think you are. So, yeah, 5 of Pentacles. The Strength card, I love that. And look at that Empress. Look at this power. I love the 9 of Pentacles, the Strength, the Empress. Like there's a power that's surging and opening up in you that's just like, I mean, you're going to be able to like create worlds, right? This is that power that I'm feeling here. Where once like life seemed very barren, happiness, peace, fulfillment was really on the external world. Like you saw other people experiencing fun and joy and peace and abundance, and maybe internally in your own little world. It could be internally within yourself or just in your life. Maybe you were hiding it too, but you've been struggling. There's been a lot of feeling out in the cold, feeling sucked of all that goodness. This could have affected you even like physically. You could have some health issues. This could also be affecting your money, your finances, your work. I mean, that's the thing. When we're really in that emotionally dark place, you know, it really seeps in and affects all areas of our life. But I almost feel too, I like this harnessing, because the Knight of Swords can be the angry knight. But I almost feel like that's a positive for you right now, because I feel like just you finally gaining that power, right? And it could be channeled through some anger and just finally ready to be like, no, I'm not just going to lay down and just let life pass me by. And you're like, I'm not doing it anymore. So you're getting the surge. There's really the surge of like, I'm taking action. I'm moving forward. I'm doing what's good for me. I'm seeing the positive things that are about to break through in my life. And you're not going to let this opportunity, you're not going to pass by the door. Definitely not. So let's just see. I want to see, what's the 2 of Pentacles about? 3 of Wands. So where there was potentially uncertainty about making a decision or about taking action, I do finally think you are at a place currently, because the middle to me is like now, about you've made a decision. You either are currently about to make a decision, you've consciously made a decision, and I think the next step is really taking that action and moving forward based on the decision you've made. I like that. So we're getting out of a place of uncertainty, of like maybe being stuck in a place of not sure, you know, what to do, and now you're taking action. What's the Knight of Cups? 4 of Cups. And the Ace of Wands. So there could have been, this could be referring to like disappointment in the past in regards to love and relationships, like something being really disappointing for you, feeling loss around it, just you're kind of in, that could have been the past or the recent past, but really sitting and like assessing maybe a trend of relationships, or one relationship where it's like, this isn't working out, there's disappointment there. You know, it's that time to just kind of sit and sulk and be in your feelings. That's what I kind of get by the 4 of Cups. But then all of a sudden the Ace of Wands comes. So it's like all of a sudden something lights within you that you finally are like, you know, I'm ready. I'm done sulking. I've had my time to, you know, cry over spilt milk, cry over what didn't work out, you know, be sad about the disappointment. But now I'm, you know, feeling this energy, this inspiration. I almost feel like something's inspiring you about the future ahead for you. I think you're seeing it as it's looking really positive, and you're almost excited to get there. So you finally make a decision of, hey, I'm not going to just sit here in this situation. I'm going to start walking to the other side here. Let's see, the Eight of Cups. Yeah, there's a big transition happening. This is exactly what I said. This could be, for some of you, it could actually be an ending to something and you walking away from something or someone, a relationship. But with the Six of Cups too, this is really just what I was talking about earlier, about really leaving behind these emotions, these ties we've been carrying that are really meant to be in the past. Like we've carried them too far. We've been continuously carrying forward, even though, you know, they may have ended 10 years ago. There's something there about the ties that bind us to the past that doesn't exist anymore. This can be, again, relationships, connections, people, even just like dreams we thought, you know, were going to happen and they didn't. So there's some nostalgia about the past that you Scorpios are really sensitive to and love to be nostalgic here. But we need to finally, life's like, okay, let's leave this behind, and it's you being okay with that. So what's this breakthrough in Ten of Cups here? I mean, we see abundance. Let's just ask one more to get some positive ending to the reading. Nine of Swords. So a breakthrough in moving past your fears. You know, this is a lot of anxiety about what the future looks like. Even though I said, you know, for some of you, I do feel like there's excitement about the future and what it has to offer you, but there's also fear, right? There's also some anxiety about the unknown. And it's like, is it going to be better, or am I going to just be in another shitty place? But I do feel like it is going to be a lot better, right? We have abundance. We have Ten of Cups, Two of Swords. It's almost like don't block yourself off, because you're going to get something that you've always wanted, and it's coming. But I feel like you don't see it yet, and you're still in this place of potentially anxiety and fear about kind of moving past the threshold of the Ace of Pentacles here. But you're going to get what you want, and there is a wish fulfilled coming for you. So, not to say you need to hold on to the expectation, but I think it will help you through this transitioning happening for you, because I do feel like you're going through a transition. It is pretty major with the Death card. We have the Strength, the Empress, the High Priestess. There is some major arcana energy here, which is big shifts. All right, amazing Scorpios. I think March, you know, is going to end up good. So I wouldn't worry about how it's going to end. But just, again, ride the waves. You're the pro surfer here. You know how to ride the waves, which I think there's going to be a lot in March. But you're going to be just fine. All right, Scorpios, you have a great month. Don't forget to stay connected and watch the weekly readings. Share this with your fellow Scorpions if you think this would help them. And I will see you in the next reading. Bye for now.